Downtown Young Toronto is a very lively and always active area in Toronto, being known in the city as where Yonge and Dundas intersect. Many people from all over the GTA collect here to then venture off into the city and experience the urban life of Toronto. In this particular section, you can find many retail spaces, restaurants, and bars for nightlife. On the corner of this busy intersection lies the campus of Ryerson University. Within the campus, there is Devonian Pond. This is a public space that had been designed as a recreational skating rink and a seasonal reflecting pool in the late 1970s. However, since the 90s, when the space is barren of water and dry, the rink takes a new life. Smooth concrete ground, low bordering ledges, and surrounding street furniture allow for the active recreational urban behavior of skateboarding, while the youthful and lively spirit of the university campus fuels the creative expression and vibe of the parquet. The atmosphere incentivizes play and free expression in this public space, as it incentivizes people to come together and escape the noisy city environment. And this is why Pond is cemented as a world-known Toronto skate spot and a secret Toronto public space in a high-traffic area like Yonge and Dundas. As a highly accessible space, many skateboarders from all around the GTA collect here to utilize the ledges and perfect background, beginning their skate sessions around the city in the day and recollecting here to celebrate their skate sessions at night. The spot is, however, mostly trashed during summer seasons, and there needs to be more engagement with the space when not functional as an ice rink. At times, the space can be unsafe due to the conditions. But why Pond, you might ask? Well, I can give you 3 reasons as to why you might want to visit this space for your next trip around downtown. 1 would be recreation. During the winter seasons, the pond becomes an urban ice rink, activating the space. When the pond is empty, skateboarders and rollerbladers utilize the smooth concrete ground and circular space. Even rock climbers also use the boulders for urban climbing. The second would be the culture. Sitting at the heart of downtown Yonge, Toronto, and dead center of the Ryerson campus, this urban space is the antithesis of Toronto culture for Torontonians or students. However, not too many people know about it, and it could be used in that type of way. The third would be a central hub. The site is just adjacent of Yonge and Dundas intersection. It's a central circulation node in the downtown core of Toronto that encapsulates the Dundas TTC station, Eaton Centre, and the ex-university campus. This space is always high in foot traffic and vehicle traffic. The influx of people just never stops. Devonian Square over the years has developed many different names and slangs that the space is associated with and identified by. 1978 ice rink had been named after the Devonian Group's charitable foundation from Calgary, which had donated the rock boulders from Calgary to surround the ice rink. Quickly, however, as students occupied the public space, it quickly had been given the nickname of Lake Devo. This nickname is still used amongst the students and has been a part of the campus culture since. Alternatively, the skateboarding community of Toronto simply refers to the space as Pond. The public parquet with the seasonal skating rink is on the center of the Ryerson University main node and junction. Many people ranging from students and staff to Torontonians and tourists walk across the site to connect with the downtown core of Toronto. However, when the space is not being used as an ice rink, the space does not have the level of engagement adequate for the pedestrians that walk past the space every day. In my project, I'm looking to address how the space can be more engaging and useful to not only raise the social value of the space, but to protect the space from unwanted littering and unsafe conditions. The downtown Yonge district is one of Toronto's many dense urban neighborhoods that come with a heavy emphasis on retail and commercial land use. Known as Toronto's heart of the city, the Yonge and Dundas area is popularly known for its tourist attractions and retail shopping experience, given its access to many retail storefronts, diverse restaurants and cafes, and most famous in Center Mall. This urban landscape also features the campus of Ryerson University. The Ryerson University campus, you can find pond. A lot of people use the pedestrian walkways to get from class to class and from Yonge Street to Church Street. Here, also, a lot of people use the rocks and the bordering ledges for sitting and socializing, and also eating food from surrounding areas. Lastly, there's a lot of skating happening in this area as a functional ice rink. There's many people utilizing it for ice skating and hockey during winter seasons, and during summer season, a lot of people use the smooth concrete ground for skateboarding and rollerblading. For the circulation of the space, many people utilize the pedestrian pathways, while not as many use the parkette. Around Pond, you can find many other public spaces on the campus. There's also a lot of intersections that have a lot of converging traffic. That converging traffic also transfers into the walkways for the campus. Here you can also find alleyways that create hidden spots and might create unsafe environments. Let's take a look at the density of people in this area. For the most part, people utilize the main roads as they have the most programs on it. The people from those roads end up converging into the walkways that exist in the campus. This connects people to urban spaces without having to interact with these busy streets. Along this walkway, there are many public spaces that allow for people to hang out and slow down in these areas. How can we reactivate Pond? Well, it might take two key actions. The first would be to support recreation. By implementing skatable installations, the recreational activity of skateboarding can instill a programmatic active behavior to the public space. The second would be promoting exhibition. Through utilizing the key features of the space, it can become a venue for public art exhibits and live music and entertainment in the public realm. Through these two key actions, the space becomes activated through spatial performity. The space becomes usable for the high-foot traffic campus and city pathways, and lastly, the space becomes a cultural hub and allows a community space to form to engage with the urban landscape. To conclude, our public spaces need to be more engaging and activated in order for the people of the city to interact with our urban networks. Without functional programs, certain public spaces can become empty and foster unsafe conditions just from the abundance of interaction within the space. Activities such as skateboarding and public art need to be incorporated into our public life culture instead of being unsupported or being displaced from these areas. When you have spaces with diverse public programs, people have a deeper connection to their urban cultures, and this creates incentive to surveil the spaces that we care for and take care of them.